it pains me so much that I didn't come with my wife. I would have loved her to be here to also receive what I have received. But although I'm going back home to tell her that we were taught how women is supposed to take care of the family also, inshallah.
How are you preparing yourself for the kind of spouse you want to marry? This is one of the key take-homes at the event organized by Sisters Halaka Foundation, which took place at the Fuad Lababidi Mosque, Wuse 2, Zone 3, Abuja. The event was graced by great speakers of inestimable values, Professor Rafat Abdulhamid, Dr. Abdulfatah Adeyemi, and Hajia Bilkisu Muhammad, among others, who did justice to the various topics given to them. Not forgetting Muslim brothers and sisters whom, out of their tight schedule, made out time to attend and listen to various lectures. The theme of the event is marriage as a foundation of lifetime fulfillment and national development, Islamic perspective. Professor Rafat Abdulhamid, who spoke on the role of marital education in nurturing lasting relationships and personal growth in Islam, awakened the need for couples to push and be more intentional in their marital journeys.
Looking at the situation and conditions we have found ourselves, I think the time is ripe now, my brothers and sisters, to really change our attitude and our thought, especially when it comes to issue of marriage. Why do I have to say this? When you look at the general situation of marriage among Muslim Ummah, especially in Nigeria, and particularly in northern Nigeria, you will agree with me that we need marital education. Take, for example, the issue of divorce rate. Every time, every year, statistics is being taken on the number of divorce cases in Nigeria.
Hajia Bilkis Muhammad, who spoke on the transformation power of marriage, psychological, economic, and spiritual dimensions, outlined the challenges being faced by couples and how to accept and face the realities of life and marriage.
Half of what we hear, we project it on others. My husband should hear this. My wife should hear this. We don't think of ourselves most of the time. However, we experience life through our thinking in the moment. We experience life from the inside out, not outside in. So it's very important that today, whatever you're learning is first for you before any other person. Transformative power of marriage. Marriage is indeed transformative. But before we can be able to acknowledge the transformative power of marriage, we need to drop the limiting beliefs we have on marriage. I know some of our beliefs in the north, they will say, namiji ba dan goyo bane. In kin gan shi a inuwa ja shi kika yi shi rana. Okay, let me translate. Some don't understand how. They will say a man is somebody you shouldn't rely on. You shouldn't support. If you see him in the shade, take him to the sun. They would say, if duwace ta rike namiji uba za ta mutu mareniya. So if you take a husband as a father, you're going to die an orphan. So what does these beliefs tell us? Not to trust our husbands, right? And who are al-qawwam? Ar-rijalu qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa. So when you don't trust your husband, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying things are not happening. They are happening, and people are finding marriage difficult. But once we see it through that lens, we'll always see the difficulty. Because in the beginning, you've not trusted him. So you've not given him that hope and belief that he can be there for you as Allah has ordained him to. And for the men, they'll tell you, mace bata da hankali. A woman that is 1 year old and 50 all think alike. Don't listen to them. And she would come with emotions, heavy emotions, or with sensible things to share. But you already have the belief bata da hankali. So how can you even listen to her?
Dr. Abdulfatah Adeyemi as well spoke on the Islamic framework of family as the bedrock of social unity in national development. In his speech, he left the audience with the question of how do you build a family where everyone is carried along.
The essence of the whole thing of this learning is to establish connection. The family is an echo of humanity's deepest need, and that's the connection. It is the shelter where we first discover the warmth of belonging, where we discover the safety of being seen by others, and the solace of unconditional acceptance. In a world that's often characterized by competition and isolation, the family remains a sacred refuge. It remains a place where we are loved, not for what we achieve, but simply for who we are. However, family is not without its own challenges. It demands patience when tempers flare. It requires forgiveness when the hearts are wounded. It obliges compromise when desires conflict. It's a daily exercise in humility. Marriage will humble you. It's a constant reminder that the true strength we can have lies in putting others before yourself.
Interacting with some of the attendees, they spoke on how impactful the topics are and how it has molded their beliefs about marriage.
The program today was epic, and alhamdulillah, I really benefited a lot, and the program has already changed my perspective. Despite I'm married, and there's a lot of things I don't even have idea or clue of. But today, inshallah, with the help of this program, I'm being able to know my lapses and where to improve in my marriage and how to go about with effective communication. A lot of issues I've been having, so Usta has really done justice to it today, and inshallah, I will improve myself and make sure I sensitize the Ummah and my children.
I've learned a lot, and I gained more knowledge about relationships and also marriage. As a youth, as a single lady that I'm not yet married, I have different perspectives of marriage, but after attending this program, I understand that there are some things that we need to know before going into marriages, and also how to relate and how to shape our relationships with our God as well as our partners and other family members.
I'm actually someone who is pursuing the process of marriage with somebody I have an interest already, and this is actually something that helped me out in getting clarity on certain things, because I understood the importance of actually getting counseling, not just for myself, but actually counseling for both sides of, the marriage situation.
My name is Mrs. Rafat, and I'm married. Alhamdulillah, for the knowledge so far that is being impacted, at least it has shaped some of my misunderstanding concerning marriage now. Alhamdulillah, because there are some mistakes we do inside the marriage, but with these lectures, alhamdulillah, it has shaped it for me, or let me say correct some part of the mistake now.
When coming here, I didn't know the program would be this motivating and impactful, but on reaching here, it was amazing. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. It was even my first time of attending their programs, but mashallah, it was well organized and the message was well passed. And it pains me so much that I didn't come with my wife. I would have loved her to be here to also receive what I have received, but although I'm going back home to tell her that we were taught how women is supposed to take care of the family also, inshallah.
It was a mind-blowing program because we really benefited a lot, especially myself. There are a lot of step down I'm taking home to do, inshallah. Looking at the 3 topics discussed, I really learned a lot of things, most especially sabr, which is patient, and also how to coordinate my home. I wish my wife is here with me because of her tight schedule. She was unable to be here. But alhamdulillah, a lot of people learned so many things. And one of the another thing that we learned from this the gathering, it is also the issue of proper managing of home, and also issue of how to coordinate risks whenever there is problem, there is issue in the home.
Alhamdulillah, we have learned a lot because marriage is a sacred institute. More of this needs to be put in place for the Ummah, and I use this medium to call on the stakeholders to see marriage counseling as one of the tools
even to be injected in the masjid, because the bitter truth is 99.9% of our imams conducting marriage don't even know the spouse's info. For how long we continue blaming all the factors that divorce is high, but what are the proactive measures towards this? So organizations like this that are into marriage counseling, they should be supported by the the community, the stakeholders, and also the youth.
Sisters Holaka Foundation is an Islamic non-profit organization that has taken it upon themselves to guide Muslims through both premarital and marital challenges with the support of Islamic principles.
My name is Hajara Yusuf, and I'm a co-founder of Sisters Halaka Foundation, who are the organizers of this annual event. For Sisters Halaka Foundation, the bedrock, of every society is the family. So we have focused our attention on the family and how to make the family stronger, because we believe that once a family is strong, then of course the society is strong. So what we normally say is we're trying to change the world one family at a time.
Rafat, iMedia TV.